The manhunt for the trusted Afghan officer who took aim at 2 American officers this weekend and killed them after getting past several security checkpoints with his credentials and then pulling out his weapon. It happened inside what was supposed to be a secure facility in Kabul. And late today, we learned the name of one of the men killed, 44-year-old Lieutenant Colonel John Loftus of Paducah, Kentucky. And tonight here, rioting has spread for a 6th day in a row of violent reaction to the U.S. military mistakenly burning copies of the Quran. 2 other Americans were killed in those riots, bringing the total to 4 Americans dead, 10 injured as this crisis deepens. ABC's Nick Schifrin starts us off again tonight from Kabul. Nick.
David, tonight there is a crisis of trust here. Afghans are still furious over the burnings of the Quran. Americans are furious over the deaths and injuries of its soldiers. And neither side seems to know what to do to stop the violence. Afghan fury has one target: U.S. soldiers. Today, in an area far from Taliban safe havens, protesters threw a grenade onto a U.S. base, injuring 10. It's been up to Afghan police to defend the bases, and it's up to them to solve one of the most chilling cases of fratricide in 10 years of war. Today, we learn more about the man who killed 2 U.S. soldiers point blank. Afghan officials tell ABC News he was one of the drivers for the Interior Ministry. He was authorized to carry a gun and had access to the building's most secure areas. Investigators say he isn't Taliban, but went to the kind of religious school in Pakistan that has produced many militants. They traced his cell phone today and knew he was in Kabul until noon, but then the trace went cold.
Is there anything that you can do to guarantee this won't happen again?
This will take time. The only guarantee is time. We have been trying to clean our forces out of these bad elements and the insurgents.
For U.S. forces, that presents a dilemma. Can they trust and cooperate with their Afghan partners today? The military coalition here, known as ISAF, says yes.
The biggest sign of very good cooperation was given to us by the Afghan National Police, who stood with excellence between demonstrators and ISAF forces over an entire week.
For the Afghan side, they want to know they can trust that the U.S. won't burn any more Qurans. The U.S. says it's conducting sensitivity training and says this week it will release the results of the investigation into why the Qurans were burned, hoping that that can calm some of the fury.